G Money.
Yo.
How you doing?
You good, man?
Yeah, yeah.
Right?
G Money.
There we go. What's up? What's
Don't
up,
touch
man?
me, man, because you out here showing me. I'm tight right now.
What happened? What's going on?
You got somebody in the background talking crap.
You want to shout him?
You got. Say it again.
Do you want to shout the crap talk?
Nah, not yet. Nah, he don't get a part of the intro.
What's up, man? How you feeling?
Yeah. How you doing, G?
I'm living.
You know, oh God.
It's my fault. How you gave me the church finger lightly, like.
I did it for our guest.
You know, our guest ain't supposed to talk while we doing our intro, right?
I know.
You encouraging her.
I did it for our guest. She was probably with the shades on, just so you know.
Nah, but I'm not talking about that.
Oh, you want the jacket?
No, I'm not supposed to be talking during the intro part.
Yeah, that too, but it's all right. You know what I'm saying? I feel like.
Oh.
This is my big homie right here, man. You know what I'm saying?
I'll let you get your shine. Go ahead, man. You talking crazy. First of all, you come in here with these jackets. I have yet to get any sponsorship.
What you want to do, man? Shout out Famous Baby one time. You know.
How much they paid you this time, man?
You know, that's personal, man.
What you mean? What is wrong with you, bro? Can I ask you a question?
Talk to me.
Money.
When you when you gonna share? Ocho side, like when are you gonna share?
When do you want me to share? As soon as you let me know when you're ready, you'll have your package here the next day, sir. Yeah, anybody on YouTube right now, you leave a comment and testify that if Queen Flip wants a jacket or a T-shirt or a hat, you guys will let him know, right? I'll wait.
The thing is, people been DMing me saying that Flip, you know, somebody wrote me a long message that by you showing disgust for the items, you're promoting it.
Yeah.
And you know what? I'm gonna just stay quiet. Cause niggas get free promotion off my back, huh?
But people actually like this intro. Like
I don't care.
They like the
you get paid. You're pressing dollar signs, everything. How much you pay? How much?
What? It's gonna be a good one today.
Yo, G.
It's gonna be good today.
G.
How you doing, though, man? You all right?
I'm alright. I feel good. I feel good. I feel great, man. Good seeing you, man.
Likewise.
Flip the script, man. I'm getting ready to travel tomorrow.
Yes.
Tonight, tomorrow. I'm traveling and
safe travels, man.
Thank you very much, man. Flip the script. It's a lot of things going on YouTube, man. With the whole, it's just too much things going on, man.
I'm getting phone calls again now for certain episodes.
Oh my god.
And Queens OGs.
Yeah, man.
You know, they're starting to hit my phone about certain things. You know. I don't know, man. Like I said before, I feel like if you sit on this couch, you know, everybody that's been up here has been grown men and women. You know what I'm saying? So they can speak their truth or their opinions and at their own risk. You know
Amen.
Oh yeah.
So you know,
and that's the realest thing you said ever, man. You know what I mean? You get encouraged, Jazzy, to keep talking, man. I'm about to turn up, man. 4 seconds, man. I'm about to turn up. But I definitely feel good. I definitely think that it's something great that we got going on.
Yes.
I definitely think that, you know, people got to be held accountable. It's displaced anger. We're not the lesser evil. Like, you know when somebody said, I'm not going to get angry at him because I know how he's going to act. Maybe, but you picking the wrong people. Because what about it? We're not taking nothing down. And that's it, man. People feel the way about, you know, they're not mad at the people that's saying it. They mad at me, and it's weird, bro. But I'm good, though. You know what I mean?
I agree. 100%.
And I'm excited about our next guest.
I am too.
Are you ready to do the intro of the next guest, or you need me to, you know?
I can if you like.
Yeah, of course. Oh, G Money.
Yo.
We can go back. We gotta go back to the original intro, okay?
Original intro today?
Yeah.
Oh, let's go.
Episode 132. Nigga, we made it.
Yeah, that feels a lot better.
So that's my number.
We got a special guest.
Yes.
She won't stop talking. She kill it.
She's the reason why I have the shades on today for the first time.
G.
For the first time ever on the podcast.
Oh wow.
You know what I'm saying? Let's see how we can intro her, man. DJ, you know, radio DJ, club DJ, battle DJ. I see some videos from back in the days. Producer. She does it all, man. One time for DJ Jazzy Joyce in the building. Round of applause one time for her.
What's going on, Jazzy? Welcome to Flip the Script.
Hello.
How
What's
you doing?
Up? I'm thankful. First and foremost, I came bearing
Wow.
Giftington. So we can, y'all wanna, what you wanna do?
Wow, okay.
You wanna,
Okay, G.
I don't wanna see y'all. Wait, let me get my camera
Oh
so I
my
can see
God.
y'all faces. Come
Jazzy.
on, pop that.
Jazz,
So-
I'm scared to open it.
No, don't be scared. And I made it easy to remove the tape.
Okay.
So, you know, that's painter's tape, blue tape, so just pop it wherever. And once you
man.
start to unravel it,
It's not
it
easy
is.
to take off.
Yes, it is. Y'all are just nervous.
Yeah, I'm like,
Yeah, no, Jazzy, no, you can't do that. You can't do that.
this
You can't do that.
look like something real.
Yeah, there you go.
This look real official. I don't want to mess it up by taking it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, hold on, we never got a gift before.
Well, I come from the era of when guests would come, they would come bearing gifts. Remember when we did Ladies' Night?
It's ladies' night. What? It must be Jazzy on the mic. Ooh. All right. Let's
So
go,
if
man.
they came bearing
Whoa,
gifts.
Whoa. This is a good rap too. It's not even Christmas, man. It's better than Christmas. Hold on, what we got here? Let's see. Let's open this side first. I don't want the viewers to see it until we see it.
Ah, smart. See,
G,
G?
hurry up.
Hurry up! I know. Hold on. Oh.
So you know I do the art thing. I've been hand painting and
Nah, man.
yes.
Jazzy autographs fire too.
Jazzy, thank you, man.
You're welcome. Take the tape off the back, like
Wow, man. Thank you, man.
Yeah.
Round of applause one time with Jazzy Joyce, man, on the artwork. This is dope. This is
That
dope.
means a lot. Thank you very much.
Wow.
Oh, man. Dang.
See
One
how-
of the, I wasn't trying to do portraits that much at first. I knew I was kind of capable, but then I was like, so yeah,
Yeah, G.
boom,
Nah,
for
that-
you guys.
That touched my heart, man.
That touched my heart.
So.
This is really nice though.
Can y'all do me a favor? Since I didn't get to finish it the way I wanted to, meaning sheen it, just drop it in a nice frame to protect it from dust and the agent,
sure,
like
sure.
as as soon as possible, for protecting it. Protecting
back
it.
too.
Yeah.
Much love and respect.
Hold on, let me
Take a drink.
yeah, man. Wow, man. Yo,
DJ Jazzy Joyce.
Jazzy
Appreciate you.
Joyce, man.
Thank you.
This means a lot, man.
On the back it says much love and respect to you both. Flipping G Money, peace and love. Shouts to Queens. Jazzy Joyce 2019.
Damn, son.
Need that rose gold.
Yo, what's up with you, man?
This is fire.
Making it happen.
Man, get out of here, man. Oh man, I ain't gonna lie, man. You know we don't normally get gifts, man. This means a lot, man.
So is it safe that I could do this now without me being biased? This early in the show?
Yeah,
You sure?
yeah.
She cool, man. She cool, man.
She is.
Cool, man. This cool, man.
I was nervous. I was like,
So what?
what part of the game is this?
Nah, the he cool and she cool is very highly respected on the show here. So you got it early on the show. A lot of guests get it in the
At a
last,
certain point after
or sometimes they get it the
speaking.
last 2 seconds before we have to go off the joint. I'm like, oh, he cool, he got some. She cool, but this
Yo,
is
this means a lot. Yo, hey, Basco.
Thank
Can you please take this and put this in the other room, please? Shout out to Basco, our producer for Flip the Script.
yes,
Man, I ain't gonna lie, man. When he wasn't here the other day, man, I felt his presence gone, but now that he's back, I feel good. Thank you, Basco.
Besito.
Please take care of that. We have to frame that.
Thank you. Thank
Wow,
you
man,
very
that
much.
means a lot, G. How you
Man,
feel, man?
That's good.
G,
Came a long way, man.
chill out, man.
That's
Whenever
really
you ready, man.
that's really cool, man.
Oh, wow, that caught me off guard. It
Wow.
did.
All right, so let's get to it, man. Jazzy Joyce is here. Legendary DJ, pioneer of the game. Veteran of the game. But before that, up here for the Script Podcast, we like to talk about the origins. We want to go back to before you was,
The human side of
Yes.
it. The
Before-
real stuff.
before the turntables. Where you from originally?
The Bronx, New York.
Pull it close. You should pull it closer.
Bronx, New York.
Bronx, New York. Born and raised.
Yes, born and raised in the first Lincoln Hospital, the old Lincoln Hospital. And yeah, it's on my birth certificate, the home of hip hop.
Home of hip hop is a fact.
Yeah.
So, what was it like growing up for you in the Bronx? as a kid? Like, what was the household like? You have both parents in the household?
I'm an only child.
Nice, me too.
Mom was a nurse, latchkey kid, and I'm gathering that this was what I chose to focus on with my extra time, if you will. The music and the culture, because I lived in the Bronx and everything about it was what I saw around me. The graffiti on the trains, on the subways. And the young man who taught me how to DJ, I call him my cousin, but he's not my blood cousin, but my grandmother and his mother were friends. And you know, in urban communities, families, when y'all know each other, or the mothers know each other, the kids know each other, so that's the love. So he taught me how to DJ, and he told me and explained everything about the graffiti culture and all of the elements. We were in the Bronx, so we would see the breakdancer, we would see the DJs hook up to the lamp posts. I understand how to do that, but that was too scary because I knew the electricity might mess up my equipment or anything, because I had to go through so much to get my stuff. But anyway, that's what it was like growing up in the Bronx, seeing the graffiti, the breakdance, everything right there in front of me, and also the devastation. So the art is what I focused on, I guess, to help me walk through the devastation of what I grew up in living in the Bronx. So, yeah, the music was my refuge.
What was your dad at the time?
I didn't find my father or get into my father's life until I was about 37.
Wow, really?
And I'm 52. So I kept, like, every 10 years of my life, I would ask my mom about him. And with 1-800-US search, I found him at about 37.
Wow.
So he's based out of the South. And if I said my last name, I probably would have a lot of relatives that would realize we're related. But the family dynamics of my own direct family, and then just it's part of what makes me who I am. And understanding that, then you kind of understand the other side of what you saw of me as Jazzy Joyce, if you will. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Can I ask a question? When you said that the light poles will maybe mess up the system, what do you mean? Like under the light poles, what, they were plugs or something?
No, when they used to hook up the equipment to the light posts, there was the young geeks and young minds of that era understood the megahertz difference and all of that stuff. I didn't understand the megahertz, and so I was fearful of the shock value of it. But all of the other components of the system of hooking up the equipment and everything, I understood. But at that junction of where the power source was fearful for me to mess with. That's another geek level. Like, that's
well,
what
so back then they used to if they didn't have power outside, they would plug it to the light pole, the DJ and the park jams and all that.
Right, to get the power. So, like, if they didn't have the ability to patch into the community center, they was, by any means necessary, they was going to even if they only got one record in the universe, carrying them speakers and going through all that trouble, you got to get off at least one of them.
All right, so before we get to the DJ stuff, we're gonna touch that the right way. You know what I'm saying? But who was Jazzy Joyce as a kid growing up? Like, what kind of stuff were you into before DJing? Were you like the sports? Were you, what kind of female were you growing up in the Bronx?
I would probably say introverted because of the only child stuff. So just, I don't know. I don't have a lot of reflections besides the art part, meaning the DJ part, because the other side was just, I have Crohn's disease. So first signs of it at 7, first operation at 17. A lot of my surgeries that occurred didn't happen when social media and all of this stuff existed. So the times or the periods where it seems like I disappeared or just popped back up and then here I am, it was the health issue in between that. And like I said, social media is not what it is now. So it wasn't like I was able to be like, yo, and it was just a lot of stuff in between it too, like motorcycle accident stuff. I crashed in '96, broke my collarbone, my clavicle, all of these in between things that happened kind of, if you will, in silence because there was none of the social media.
Right.
For me to be able to be like, yo, y'all, I crashed. You know what I'm saying? So then you understand.
Right.
Yeah. So.
Real quick, can you break down what Crohn's disease is? So we get.
Crohn's disease is an inflammatory disease that can take place in the large or the small intestines. And it's part of the irritable bowel disease collective. And if you know anybody who has any of the diseases within the spectrum, it's like Crohn's disease is like the granddaddy of it. Because you can start with a ulcer, then you have ulcerative colitis, and et cetera, and et cetera. So it's like usually, like, why do we always got to have the granddaddy of whatever situation? Like, if it's a situation, we always got to have that end of the spectrum. We couldn't get a little. So, yeah. So I guess I was saying that to a coach who you deemed Mr.
I saw him.
Right.
Psycho. He bugged out. I saw him.
So I was saying, I think that's part of what makes me super patient, tenacious, all of the things that you don't know that I'm made up of that make me,
who you are today. 100%.
So you
Don't get shy on me.
Nah, I'm not shy. I'm trying to see. I'm trying to be as
get
nice
it together.
As I can.
Got you.
You young. You said you were, and he asked you what type of person you are.
And I really didn't give an answer because I didn't have a good reflection. Meaning, if I had a sibling or a trusted reflection, then I could tell it back to you. So someone else would kind of have to describe me because I don't, if you will.
That makes sense. When did you start going out? Like, where's your mom from?
We're 3 generations American. I guess the 3rd or 4th generation Louisiana area.
Dad as well?
No, North Carolina.
North Carolina. And being the only child, you were spoiled?
Absolutely.
And when did they allow you, or your mom, when did you when were you able to go outside, start going outside and stuff like that? As far as like hanging out, when were you, what age?
From very young, obviously.
Because you were the only child.
But not because I was the only child, because...
Well, why would it be obvious?
Because of, at the point of when I became known for DJing, like, how do you get there without being outside?
How would they feel comfortable letting you outside in the first place? You were a good kid?
I was...
Oh, here we go.
No.
Welcome to the jam.
No. Listen, I'm an only child. I was very smart, able to travel by myself, do a lot of stuff. So it was trust. And that comes from the latchkey relationship. That's what the latchkey kids, you got to understand, if your mother locks the door and tells you don't open the door. So if you listen, if they can trust, if your parents can trust you, then you're allowed to do more. So I understood the trust thing, and then it's obvious that whatever they observed me doing, I wasn't doing anything that was making them worry about me. So I just used my time, my trusted time, for what I wanted it.
Yo, well, what made you, like we got a lot of guests up here, whether they're from Bronx or Queens or Brooklyn, whatever the case is, but a lot of them, single parent homes, and that kind of steers them in the wrong direction. You know what I mean? Like,
it's what you do with your spare time.
Right. So what kept you on the right path at a young age?
The early love for the culture. And because I think because I had the first signs of Crohn's at 7, so part of the time of when I'm down because I'm sick, I was just getting more and more into the culture of music from who I was taught. And then when you're down, if you're sick, my ears wasn't broke. So that's where the development came. And then once you get better and you're like, as soon as you're better, you're like, yo, I want to show y'all what I was working on.
Gotcha.
In a sense.
Do you remember when you first wanted to become a DJ? What did you see? Who did you see? I mean, earlier you said that there's a guy you call your cousin. Like, what was the age you decided that you wanted to be a DJ?
My first actual gig, I was 13 years old. Some of the first DJs I saw in the flesh was Red Alert, Africa Bambaataa. I didn't get to see Herc, but you say, saying "bam," you grunted. That's and I can understand, but there's so many people that I've known for over 20, 30 years that I have minimal dialogue with. So, it's almost like I don't know you, G Money, 20 or 30 years, but my conversation or relatability with you can be more than some of the people.
Gotcha.
Because being in the culture doesn't make y'all friends.
Right. I agree.
You know what I'm saying?
Your associates or your counterparts or your peers, you can call them, but friends is a little...
And me, as an only child, I didn't decipher everything well. Because I loved the culture, so I also loved the people in it. In a sense, because of the love.
Side note, you know why I grunted about African Bambaataa, yes?
Yes. Well, I can kind of guesstimate because of the controversy. I don't know what personal...
No, that's what I'm talking about, the controversy. But back in the days, did you guys in the Bronx hear about that, or that just came out recently?
But I think I just answered that without answering it.
Not being aware. I heard what you said, but...
like saying I could have a existence with someone for over 30 years and not have much dialogue.
I heard that part.
And,
that's paraphrasing.
And well, it's my way of saying to you I didn't know what was going on because I wasn't...
Or you mind your business.
Well, in certain situations, yes. But in that situation, no. If I knew... I'm sure my choices would be different. But,
of course.
In later knowing, then you know what you saw.
Got it. I see. Understood. Makes sense. Because you're not, like, you used the word naive initially. So, and then now when you put the you like
right certain actions, anything. Then when you look back, then you make the correlation, and you just be like, y'all niggas for real. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like that. So what can I do? My choices in my life was for my reasons. And as we get to whatever you'd like to ask.
Because I want to know how personal we can get with you as well.
I mean, whatever you feel comfortable about getting the truth about. If you don't feel comfortable about the truth, I've lived and walked in my truth. You see, the prerequisite of this whole conversation was the fallout that you get as a result of interviewing people for the truth that they present to you after you've asked them a question. So you asked me a question that you're ready for as well, for the answer.
Wow.
That was nice.
My shades a little bit.
That was well put together, but
No, I'm just saying. You're now understanding the dual responsibility.
That was well put together, but I'm ready for anything. I don't.
Can I rub your belly for good luck? If we gonna check it, cause I love you.
I love you
so we can. I thought I was gonna have to wear my raincoat.
Why?
Cause you be throwing water on it.
Oh, that's back in the days, man. Times has changed tremendously.
Okay.
It's that was when we were trying to come out and make get
that energy, get that viral energy. How cool! Look,
yeah, bomb. We in retrospect, I think about it. I don't regret anything I did, but business wise, it was a little crazy. We got kicked out the engine room the first day. And we never turned back. They said you guys can't come back here
out the gate.
Right?
Yeah. First day recording there, and like I said, Tax Tone recorded there. Charlamagne, everybody was there at the time, and all we were trying to do was stand out. So
you did it.
People heard. Well, we got kicked out because we had a escort coming in,
I've been kicked out of clubs before.
Well,
And then I helped them make money and all that. And I'm walking past all the security. I'm like, for real? Word? This what we doing? So I'm here to tell you, we got the kicked out club. We can start it right now.
Nah.
What you want to do?
But back to what I was saying. I mean, I want to ask personal questions, and I'm ready for whatever answer you're ready to give me.
What kind of personal questions you want?
Don't worry.
How personal you want to get, man?
I just questions. That's all. Don't ask me. Let me.
All right, cool.
He's setting it up in his mind.
He's getting ready.
Yeah, Coach, get out of here.
Shuffleboard.
All the fatigue, man. We can see you, man. You trying to be inconspicuous? I see you. You're right there. You trying to blend in with the door. I see you, bro. Come on, man. You watching me like that?
Come on, we wasting time because I'm just going to look like I'm sitting up here on the couch laughing. Let's get to it.
All right, so you how old when you start to hear Red Alert and these guys? How old were you around?
I figured probably around 11, 12.
11, 12, you start to hear and see Red Alert, African Bambaataa, you hear the DJs, and what's your first feeling? Like you hear about it, you like, yo, I want to be a DJ, or you just say like, oh, these guys are doing something cool, whatever, or like what was your first initial thought or impression of them?
I was like, that's what my cousin was teaching me how to do. I got to get on the turntables. And it was already, my reputation was already out there. Like, so I just was like, they were the bar for where I wanted to be. I wasn't thinking genitalia, oh, I'm a female. I'm thinking, if this is what I'm doing, that's how I got to do it.
Right.
At that level, so.
At the time, did you see any female DJs?
Not at all.
There was none around.
No.
At their bar or at your level?
Any bar.
No bar.
Well, there were some around. Very few. Very few.
Any other than we know about now, or just girls that were trying to do it?
Oh, they exist in past documents of stuff, but they didn't have the longevity that I have had. So they were around, but they ain't no more. What? We taking it to Queens? What we doing? He cracking that neck?
No, I'm gonna let you.
He's the soft lead up. Let me brush my hair.
Whenever you're ready.
Don't be scared.
Yeah, you gotta shoot your shot.
I definitely want to know. Right now in today's time, as far as the whole LBG. What's the rest of the letters? Oh, the
LBG, the DBA, the Dubai, the lesbians and the gays.
Yeah. I read an article that you talked about being in the 4th grade and you knowing.
Oh, knowing. Yeah, no, I never had fantasies of males or being involved with them, and then I could remember, that story of the 4th grade when I was in the 4th grade, because as animals are. Carnal animals. When the animal meets and greets you, it's nose, eyes, and ears. So my nose remembered the teacher, how she smelled, coming in to correct me and get me as smart as I am today.
When did you realize that?
When did I make the correlation that I was only liking
women?
guys?
Yeah, because we can't, these days people don't like labels.
I know, so it's weird. When I was later on, when it was awkward or just didn't feel like, I just never had fantasies about men, and then I think not growing up in a household viewing healthy relationships between man and woman plays a part in what we see and what we emulate. If it's not there for me to emulate after, what am I, I'm not getting much else. I don't have siblings feeding back information.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
So wait, hold on.
I have a question though, because some people say that your gender kind of not gender. your liking for the opposite sex or the other sex,
or for females,
for the same sex or opposite sex. They say that it happens when you're like a baby, but you don't really you don't realize it until you get a little older.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
you
of course.
Feel like
you
that's
don't
true,
make the...
or do you feel like what you're saying is more so true, like the household and plays a role in what
No,
you smelled
but
first?
when you get older, I gave you examples of how the mind and as you mature and look back at yourself, how you can see the things and make the correlation of how early you were making decisions, knowing or unknowingly, about your choices and feelings and energies and directions and preferences. It's not like I didn't have a first boyfriend or I didn't try. I did. A couple of, I was like, no, I don't want to do this.
I guess because you gave us a gift and you were nice to us, so it makes me a little reluctant. But
just go ahead and talk how you want.
It goes against what you said and this is why I said hold up. Let me close this down and get at you a little bit.
Good.
I put it halfway because I respect you.
The full get at is the slam down. Let me look at you.
It goes against what people believe when they say that you were born being that way, and G Money asked that because you said that you felt that you didn't watch in a household of proper.
No, I said it could be a contributing factor to.
I just want to correct yourself. Correct yourself. You know how these people are. They take things a little bit too far. But I mean people. I'm not talking about a specific. I'm just talking about people in general. Let me make that clear as well. What do you mean people? What are you trying to say? Let me make that clear as well. You know.
Anyone in observance of me might think that, and I just said it could be a contributing factor. I don't know. That
you didn't watch a healthy,
male and female relationship, and that's not good. That's not true. What does it make?
No, it's your truth. I can't tell. I'm listening to you. What are you asking me? How you ask me your truth? You said it.
I'm just saying.
I'm in the passenger seat right now. You're taking me down memory lane. Left. We're gonna make a left. What we doing? Are we going straight? What we talking about here? No, but I understand. So you always knew that you were attracted to.
I didn't always knew. I'm just telling. That was when I was interviewed, and I looked back in my mind or my life or just my experiences, and I was like, this could be a point of like starting to feel like, what's up?
Understood.
That's it. It's just a correlatable moment in my life.
Respect. Got it. Got you. Okay. Sorry.
No.
All right.
Sorry, it's okay.
All right, so what's next now? You show interest in DJing. Your cousin / friend or whatever. He put you onto the game. What's the next step for you?
In terms of the timeline of when the past of where we at.
Yeah, in terms of the DJing, like what happens next? You see Red Alert and these guys, and you're learning how to DJ. What's your next step now?
Well, I was a teenager, so I was going to school. I was working. I lived in the Bronx, South Bronx, the South Bronx. I worked in the PAL when I was younger.
Nice.
I just was the only child, and I just focused, worked, and then I started having signs and problems with the IBS, the irritable bowel disease. But at the same time, it's like every opportunity that I ever had to grace the turntables, I would. So if you want to know the points of when this happened, when that happened, you be more specific.
All right. So when was your first gig?
We're gonna ease up to the point where he's gonna pick up the questions. So my first gig was actually not too far from here at this club called Earth's Edge. It used to be down here. Y'all could look up the history of it, and
I will.
I have the flyer. The flyer for it. It's on my page, Instagram at DJ Jazzy Joyce, and you could see. I think Jazzy J, Red Alert, and Africa Bambaataa was the DJ, and then my little face was on the flyer. And yes, that was my first gig. I was 13 years old. And the club owner said she can DJ, but she has to have someone to accompany her because she's under 18 and we sell alcohol here. Don't want any issues.
Of course.
So my mom took me, and that was...
Shout out to Mom Dukes.
Yeah.
That's love.
So how did they book you though? Like they heard you DJ before. Your name was ringing bells in the streets.
Through the Zulu Nation and the Bronx. Me living in the Bronx. I would probably credit, if I had to credit anybody, I would give the credit probably to Jazzy J. Because I told you, you can know somebody for 30 years and not really speak to them. So I don't have a lot of dialogue with Bam.
I'm just trying to figure out, and I saw that it said that you were a member of the Zulu Nation. I don't know if that's true. It said that.
I think I was by default in actions. And I think everyone else around me assumed that I was automatically because of my actions. Because I was so dedicated to the craft and did everything towards it.
You all right, Coach? I'm good. So I don't think that I can just allow this conversation to move forward like this. In that way, I have to get a little deeper. The thing is, no, because and I love her, but bypassing the shenanigans, we can't bypass it. Not saying she was on shenanigans. She's a wonderful person. Her energy is beautiful. At the same time, hearing the stories, right? And like I said, you said this because while you were talking, I was.
Yeah, doing your investigations.
Yeah. And then I saw the Zulu Nation, and I tried to look past it. It came up again. So the thing is, they were very powerful back in the days, and we can't erase history. Your history of, what I mean. Your history of being acquainted, with them. At the same time, it's like, do you feel now that after hearing all the controversy? Do you still feel the same way about the Zulu Nation, how you felt about them when you were younger? Like,
it wasn't, my affinity wasn't towards them. It was towards the culture and towards DJing. I had no real idea of their structure and everything until later when I get my knowledge, life knowledge, economic knowledge, this 501c3 knowledge, how this person, then I take all of these people that I observed for 30 years and put them in place, and now I got sense of everything, and I'm like, oh, wow. But I was involved and accepted and respected, but not in it. Like, I've spoken or been at play, and they were surprised to realize that I wasn't, like, actually officially. Like, are you assuming that I may have been Zulu? I just was a DJ.
No, I'm not assuming you. I'm just saying,
But let me give you an example. Okay. For example, Zulu Nation anniversaries. After a while, I would just always remember it happens around the winter. Get my records, drag my 6 crates of records by my little old self with my hand truck, and be there. And I would wait patiently for my moment to play. And because I would do that consistently, if you're on the outside looking in and they, Jazzy's here, but I just was like,
I'm a DJ.
This is my opportunity to play in front of people, do my craft. And I would wait my turn, get my time, boom, 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 get off, pack up my stuff. And I knew I had to carry it myself because nobody wasn't going. So when you look back at that's why when they look back at me, they like, wow. Wow. It's all I could tell you is the truth. When the news broke and when everything happened, I was like, because when you standing so close to craziness and didn't realize it, and when it unfolds, you be like, oh, Whew! Kind of, so that's where my perspective is. And within it, I'm glad that I just chose to do what I chose to do. We are responsible for what we choose to do. I know that in doing what I was doing, I don't know what I looked like or how I was to certain people. I was not nice to a lot of people in certain instances, but when you know this side of it and understand how much I was just, when you look at me and y'all observed me, look back at how many times I probably was alone. You see how your hunk did that? Yeah. How many times did I see you and I'm out here, the 0 o'clock hours or whatever? Yeah. That's where the respect comes. You can't deny it. You can't say you didn't see me.
Facts.
And put it in.
That's true. I definitely seen her a million different gigs by herself in the crowd. No Hollywood shade, shades be on, but
it's I could see.
never Hollywood stuff.
No, never but it's a lot of people that don't know that because they've kept their distance for the longest and didn't come in to say. They wouldn't even say hello or anything.
Why is that? You think?
I had only child syndrome, and then a lot of them probably from, like, for example, it was somebody from the Zulu Nation. I'm not going to name them. And they came in, and in my mind, immediately when they came, because I have 30 years of data of dealing with, and they never came. So I was like, this person wants something. That's why you gotta see them. So he came in and he was like, yo, all of these years, Joyce, you never really talked. You never really said it. I said, you never fucking came over and said anything to me till just now. For the past 30 years. But they would observe. You understand? No, I'm serious. And then they came asking for something, and then I just left.
All right.
What? It's unbelievable, but it is what it is. I can't because it was an assumption. Like it's just like when people see you, Flip, when they observe you and once they get a chance to say whatever they're gonna say, when they get the chance to say it to you, that's their moment. But I can't make a person not wait a long time. I can't. And if I'm the one being and then everybody else is in the room, where do we go? What do we do?
Is the you said something earlier and it's just keep playing in my head. What? Where you said that I could be around somebody for 30 years, but the dialogue is but so much. That's what basically I took that from that. Mm-hmm. And you're very good at speaking. I'm gonna give you that, but you're not good enough. Nah, you're good. You're good. I can't do it.
No.
I like can it too much, man. Like,
no. Can I share a real?
Crazy, bro.
No, you
like,
could go.
She's so nice, man. Like
it's not nice.
I'm trying to, because she's not answering my question.
What?
And the question is,
what's the question?
Like, now you heard about it. Are you denouncing the Zulu Nation? Or do you still feel the same way how you felt when you were younger?
No, but I never was a part of the Zulu Nation is the point.
But when you were younger, I'm pretty sure you represented them because they were popping, moving and shaking.
It's not a denouncement. I guess I was emulating the culture of the DJ. The part of the hip-hop culture that was the DJ part. I knew about all 4 parts of the culture. I didn't go to any Zulu Nation hip-hop. I didn't go to the community centers.
The DJ part. I got you.
Yeah, I wasn't in Bronx River. I lived in the Bronx. I'm from the Bronx, but I wasn't. Remember, I'm an only child. I wasn't from the projects, but I hung in the projects.
I understand.
I would
put me in my place. I'm ready for it.
No, that's all I'm like. A lot of people thought I was from Forest Projects, where Fat Joe's from, all that. But that's the foundation of where I learned how to DJ. The guy, my family, he lived in 980 Forest Projects. Fat Joe lived across the street. I know Fat Joe's older siblings and I know Joey from Sorry.
It's okay.
Audio-wise, from small until grown man Fat Joe now, and all of the people from McKinley, the Digging in the Crates family, we were all connected because of the culture. It had nothing to do with Zulu Nation. It had, I knew about, because Zulu from the record, Gestapo, Zulu, and the mixtapes and all of that. But I was in love with this part of it. I don't know anything else.
And I respect that. I'll move on. I respect that. Because usually I wouldn't move on, but I
no. And you're supposed to dig and get it. But if I had it,
there's nothing to dig. And you're being as honest as you can. It's just that I know that, my mom told me that back in the days, and a lot of people told me back in the days that the Zulu Nation was popping, and people felt like they were a part of it. So then I asked the question to anybody. Now you hear African Bambaataa was doing this shenanigans. How does that make you feel?
Right.
Earlier you said that when
because can I give you a gem? Right before the scandal was about to pop, I saw him. I ran into him, and he said one thing to me. I don't necessarily share that with you, that one line, but he never talked to me for all those decades. He would say hello and respect when I would see him and come to but never no dialogue or never come to me to say something. And right before, when it broke, he dropped that, and I was like, hey, you talking to me now? But I didn't make the correlation of why he dropped that until the scandal broke. And it messed me up, like, in a big way. Like, wow. Because when he first, to not really have any dialogue for the long, long time, and then when you see them, they say whatever, you're like, wow. Yeah, my stomach, that's part of the Crohn's. Can you, I don't know if it, yeah. But that's partly for why I wouldn't go into certain situations. The embarrassment of that. No, but I'm telling you what I've dealt with silently and never saying. So, yeah.
When you're a champ. Salute to you.
Thank you.
When you said it messed you up in your mind, did you feel like, tell us how it messed you up? Because you said, it messed me up. Like, what were your feelings? Like, this man never spoke to me, and then he decides to speak to me. Like, what did you think? What did you put together? Because you're a person that goes into your mind. You put things into perspective. You put pieces together by speaking to you. And this is a very serious topic, so, I'm not trying to make light of it. I just want to know, like, when he did that, where did that put you in your mind mentally when you went home, when you reflected, when you said, like, what's going on?
And it made me really, really, really believe that there's a lot of secret societies in this universe. That's all. Or just secret gangs of whatever there's collectives that hold information for people. I just happen to be in close proximity of a lot of collectives. And that was just another collective that I was in close proximity of and observance of. And it's when you're able, because look, a sleeping mind can't sit and make the correlation, because what it is like sort of like when you watch a movie and those clips, when they fast forward the clips of everything that you saw, it's kind of like that's what it does for your mind. Like when somebody drops something and then you take everything else and you're like, woo! And I wasn't in none of the pictures, but woo!
Wow. Now, being in this game, did you ever come across any of those secret societies where people might have offered you some kind of situation or some kind of, gang or whatever to level up your career?
Nobody could. Nah, how do you offer a pioneer of some level up? Like,
well, I mean, there's always,
there's always. But I'm just saying, for a long time, I was ahead of the
That's a fact.
need for, like now, it would be more so a need for that. But when I was in the pool, there wasn't as many fish in the pond.
Right.
So it was easier to...
How many female DJs was popping at the time you were coming up?
Very few, under 5. Because I got to think outside of New York. I got to think outside of whoever I don't know of.
Right.
That, you know what I'm saying? I can't only just think of where I was. You are here on the map. But I'm going to say under 5.
Do you know their name? Are you able to name them or not? You don't?
Well, they all came, not all, but a lot of them came after. Am I not, is it, so I don't know why am I looking back? Worrying about their name. I got to keep my name popping. Like,
I hear that.
I'm just saying.
I hear that.
You looking at who's on your heels?
Nah, I mean, well, yeah.
You're aware of them, but you're not. What I need to know her name for?
So who was on your heels back in the days? Who was on your heels?
I would say in the earlier part, Wanda D.
Wanda D.
Right, and then the.
Hold on.
Look at you.
Don't play no hype. Don't play no.
Wanda D.
And then after that, it was just a bunch of, not a bunch, but under 5.
When did Coco Chanel
I don't know when her start was, but I know when she started in my life was when I started at Hot 97.
Okay. So
she was like a crossroad decision. I knew nothing about her. Same thing with Sweet Tea. Knew nothing about them. Those were like opportunities that were presented from however, whatever. I made an assessment, took the chance, and made magic and history with people who I had no former or past understandings of who they were as a human being. So
the cosign came from you, as you saying?
A cosign?
The
No.
cosign for them to, you said.
It was an opportunity that is presented. It's just like if someone asked you guys to collaborate with another faction or someone to help build this show, but y'all don't know them, but you understand their strength and what they bring. And as you begin to work and do the show and everything, you're also getting to know them through the process. But prior to the suggestion of whoever suggested that y'all guys merge, because I think you guys working together could be a great thing. So when you're at that crossroads and deciding whether or not you want to get involved, it's like this. When I had the opportunity to decide to do Ladies' Night or not, it could have maybe been torturous for me if I walked away from it and knew that I had the opportunity to do that, and then it had its 15-year success. You know, so that's all those opportunities were.
So you're popping, moving and shaking. I see a couple of things.
What?
Already got the notes popping, man. He ain't sharing nothing, man. My man got
I'm writing them as we go.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, you know a lot. You know a lot. I got beef with you today, man.
Why?
You being biased, man.
I'm writing it right now. This is live.
I know. So, DJ battle. When did that come into play?
I think the first time I battled was in 1983.
Jeez.
And then the first...
I ain't born yet, boy.
The for world supremacy thing, Tom Silverman's thing, whatever the footage is. Remember, this brain has a lot jammed up in here. But and then when I competed against Cash Money,
I saw that one.
Yeah, and it was 87.
I think so. Yeah.
If you go by points or whatever, I lost by 3 points. And I was trained and prepared for that moment by DJ Clark Kent, based out of Brooklyn, and DJ Scratch. Those were my mentors and young men who were getting me tenaciously fit to battle. back then. And you know how we used to do it when we couldn't meet up with each other in terms of technology. Y'all remember, well, Flip is probably in my age group to remember, like when before there was court. Oh God, am I in trouble? Do I need to slide on the couch? I'm sorry. I'm just saying. So when before cordless phones, there was wired phones, and we used to be on the speakerphone. Like if they just did a scratch, I had to
imitate it over the phone.
Right. So now we have
That's
FaceTime.
fire.
There's no that's how we use technology. What?
That's
Flip?
fire.
I'm saying you got grown ass kids. I'm figuring you was around somewhere. I don't know.
I'm 32 years old.
Oh, my bad. You are nowhere near my age. I'm sorry.
Gee, how you gonna do that? How you gonna do that, G?
That's the first time
I don't know.
And she was confident too.
I know.
Like my age, so
But you know what it is? It's because I recognize the old soul in him. Even though he jokes and shows y'all the funny side, that's me seeing the maturity beyond that. So I guess I recognized you as an older energy, if you will. No, seriously.
Thank you.
Because like I said, beyond the joking and the energy, I see you.
That's good.
It's a great thing.
That was good.
Yo, you took that well too, because anybody else would have got
yeah,
murked.
he
just slammed that. What the fuck you talking about? So thank you for handling me with.
You know, I it's just the gift. You came bearing gifts, and you know that's in my mind, man.
The gift saved it.
The gift. I'm just trying to be as easy as I can, but you know,
the gift saved it.
Thank you.
I have a question. Have you experienced any? I'm pretty sure you have, but anyone holding you back? Any hate?
Of course, levels of it. There's levels to that.
Can you give us some examples?
I don't know. It's just there. You feel it. You know, like you.
Because we're gonna pinpoint who it is. That's why you don't want to give us.
Well, then bring it out. We can talk about them. Like what that.
Can't talk about once you say you don't know.
Because there's levels. At what level?
What are the levels? What are the levels? Now I'm gonna get at you. What are the levels?
It's different levels of hate. There's undercutting in the DJ world.
That's very true.
There's blocking, opportunity blocking, booty blocking.
They probably hate you because you're a female.
Oh, I mean, why? I can imagine when I was able to reflect and see myself, I couldn't make the correlation of. I was like, oh, that's why. My bad, my niggas. I didn't know I was looking like that to you guys.
But so G Money said so you lost the battle.
Yeah, about 3 points.
It doesn't matter, you lost it.
Right. Right. Somebody got to win.
Yeah. Did you feel that? I can't do it, G. I can't get it.
She too cool, man. You can't break Jazzy.
You kicked out the light? Fix that.
It's him, man.
Leaning on the wall.
Yeah, man. I looked at this. Yeah, I can't do it, G, man. Yeah.
I think it needs to pitch up just a little more because it's the shadow. No, the dimmer. Because I'm looking at you. Unless it's maybe the computer that gave me that feeling. When you had the computer up, it changed the lighting of.
Yeah, of course. I mean, you know.
Ask. Don't waste this moment. Ask the questions you want.
I changed lights. No, because I asked you a question, but you said it's different, and you said if it comes out, it comes out. But you didn't initially see the hate or anything that transpired. When you sat down and reflected, that's when you.
When you look back, you like, oh, wow, or whatever. Because if your heart is moving on goodness and let's get it done, and you're not gonna see hate. You can't see what you not you can't see what you. But later
You're
on.
naive to it. You don't really care about it too much.
It's not that I'm not doing it,
Right.
so I can't recognize that. I'm only trying to do the best.
No, she's speaking facts. So I could without saying names, because it can get a little crazy. But I can definitely reflect now to doing parties back in the days when I was a little younger, and even my mom telling me certain people like, yo, you shouldn't have him around. You shouldn't have this person around because they doing X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, nah, that's my man. Oh, nah. And then years later, I'm like, oh shit, like this, they kind of was. Or I did hear something about somebody doing something. I'm like, oh, that's kind of crazy. So I get it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's definitely it happens.
Right. For example, like G Money and I have worked with each other in terms of the DJ life, and who knew that I was going to be here on this end of the spectrum and speaking with you guys. But if I was up in my relating with him all that time, I would feel uncomfortable being here. But I don't, because anytime I was in his presence and we working in that DJ booth, the ultimate goal was me and him working together to make sure that room was right. I was working with him because he was clean cut, diligent, excellent in his own marketing, everything. So I didn't mind if he needed or wanted any gems or any information. Nice. I let myself be accessible to him.
100%.
Because with information, I can't give it to anybody who doesn't want it. But I allowed myself to be open to him if he wanted or needed it. I'm here. If he had anything to say in dispute of what I'm saying about it, he could say it.
That's facts.
And that goes to me saying, me moving forward and trying to do my best in every opportunity, window of opportunity or whatever that I have. So.
How did you get the Hot 97 situation?
My manager at the time was this young lady, Nicole. I forgot her last name because it severed the business relationship. Anyway, at the time, it was like the tail end of the momentum of my mixtape phenomenon work in the streets. Because everything that you do is to sustain and keep your brand going. This is part of your brand extension.
100%.
So the mixtape energy was phasing out, and my manager at the time was just always diligently applying or reaching out to Hot 97, and they gave us the opportunity for the meeting, and we went in, and the rest is pretty much history. We had the opportunity, and I did everything that they asked of me in terms of submitting the tape of my mix and etc. And then when I went in, the opportunity of working with Angie and Coco Chanel was presented. I had to make my decision, and the rest is history.
And what year was that?
96.
But before that, you said that, before that, but we didn't ask you, but you touched on it earlier, but we didn't ask you how you met Sweet Tea and...
Sweet Tea, I lived in Parkchester in the 80s from I want to say like 81 to something around. My mom kind of was gypsy-ish in terms of moving and stuff, and that was one of the places that we lived. And at the time, Joe Ski Love lived in Parkchester, and we were friends. And he was dating Toy Jackson, Sweet Tea, based out of Queens, and he was like, my girlfriend's working on a project right now. And he asked me, would you like to DJ for her? And I was like, well, let's see what's up. And then the rest is history. Like, the rest is history. That's it. And we were having a conversation earlier about that. Like, the process of recording, when you record, it's a one-take situation because it was so expensive back then to record music. Yeah. So to think, but that's part of the respect from somebody like me, because when you listen to the cuts or whatever, that was a one-take situation. I couldn't go. It's not like the technology is today, where you could just easily edit, keep going back, keep edit. Like that's why old heads argue with millennials, because they don't understand. The millennials don't understand how the things we did helped move the technology forward to where it's at right now.
No, of course.
So for you to be able to do what you do so quickly. So shouts out to Sweet Tea for the opportunity. Shouts out to Coco Chanel. These are marks in my career where I have a plethora of lifetime experience that was definitely valuable to just my knowledge in producing records, radio experience, everything. Like, if I didn't take those chances, because that was like, it's just like, if I didn't take those chances, I wouldn't have acquired the lifetime experience of back then.
What was your first day like at Hot 97? Your first, if you could recall it, your first day playing on air, what was that like for you?
Stressful. Because when you don't go to college for broadcasting and all of that stuff, when you go to college and you get
the training,
the experience. So it was like I was just thrown on the football field in a sense.
Real quick, let's back up 2 seconds. In 1999, you found your father?
No, when I was 37. So is that
37? No, okay, that would be
19. What?
That's not 19. It's 2006.
Something like that. When I was 37, I found my father with 1-800-US search. Yes.
Now, because just now sitting here, it played back in my head just now. So you found your father at the age of 36. 37. Pardon me. I don't know. I see the 6. Sorry. 2006. So, question. Did you ask your moms about him? Like, what would she say about him?
When I would ask when I did mention it, I told you I would ask about him about every 10 years of my life, 10, 11, then in my 20s, and then in my 30s, and then I finally found him with 1-800-US. You see what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to ask you no more. They came out with an app. So I got tired of asking.
Cause we know your last name, so that's what I asked, but we ain't going to get into it.
Yeah, no, my last name is Spencer. Yeah. So I went and I found him myself.
Where was he?
Down south.
What did he say to you?
Hey. Like, he has that's how he talks like that. Like, he was like, hey. Like, his wife at the time thought I wanted something from him or anything, because at the time he had just finished building a skating rink down in North Carolina. So she thought I was like, people in there, everybody thought I wanted something, or I was like, I just wanted to find my father. That's it. And when I saw him, I could see, it was a sense of peace for me, because it was all of those unanswered questions. And when you see your genetics back at you, it's the reflection. It's the things that I lacked all my life. I wasn't having reflections of my characteristics. See, I only had the one side point of view, my mom's family's reflection. So when I saw him, it was amazing to see him and see me in him and his anything, when there were so many parallels that I was unaware of. And then when we spoke, I was like, wow. Like, I rode motorcycles. I didn't see him all that time. I didn't know nothing about that. But I rode motorcycles. He rode motorcycles. I roller skated. My father roller skates. Still roller skates to this day.
He on a damn ring.
Right. Exactly. Duh. But you understand what I'm saying? Like, that's the spookiness and how wowness of that. Like, I did not know I didn't have the information.
So your initial feelings were kind of like happy. You felt good about seeing him. You didn't feel any kind of negative energy or bad vibes to not, he hasn't been around these years, and you like,
Yeah, what was the conversation like? What was his reason for not being around?
That's my parents' relatability thing. Respect. Stuff like,
You stay out of that.
Yeah, I was a child, and I asked as much as I could to try to make sense of things.
Mm-hmm.
How many siblings?
Do I think I have on his side?
Yeah.
I think it's like, I know for sure it's like 7. It might be 8, but I know it's like at least 7. And I'm like in the 7.
And how's the relationship now with you guys?
The whole world treats me like an only child. Like, it's there, he's there, I'm here, what? Like, when I don't know what to tell you about. How's the relationship? It's cordial and respectful.
How'd your mom feel that you went to go see him and you found him? She felt the way about that?
I don't know. You'd have to ask her.
Of course.
No, because how can I answer for her?
I mean, she could have told you, like, why you go talk to him for? Or, you
Oh,
know.
yeah, nah. Listen, I was asking for the truth for how long?
Right.
Why is it Zip? Why is it making you behave like that? Like, it's hard to believe. The truth usually is. That's why.
The truth is not hard to believe, but it's probably a sensitive subject.
It's a little bit, but I'm
respect. No, you answer
in
the
order
best way you
because I've been in the process of trying to clear up and clean it up and everything. Because once they gone, you can't ask them anything for clarity. So I've been like getting as much clarity as I can.
But I see the answers that I see why your answer is the way it is. Trying to just make sure you accomplished the goal that you set yourself for. That was to go see him, meet him. You found him.
Right, like.
And now moving forward, it is what it is. You already did the initial step.
It's just like information. If I'm giving it, if you're not willing to receive it, then it's just a waste of
respect.
So
salute. I understand. How long you was with Hot 97 for?
15 years. What?
And who did you get along with up there? What do you remember being up there in that building?
Everybody, not everybody, but a large percentage of people treat you like you got the cooties for a long time. And then, that's just in any big corporate environment. It's like y'all are all friendly competition to each other in a sense. So it's just weird information, and then it's just weird. And then I guess I obviously have a quirky way about relating. And then I don't know what it like.
What year did you, what year was it over?
Oh, 2011.
2011.
What was your most memorable moment at Hot 97? What was your best moments up there, or moment? Something that stands out to you.
Besides the last day at work?
She's
crazy. Nah, man, like. That's it.
Why would the last day be memorable? What did you do?
I didn't do anything. I got fired. Let go. Like, what the hell? I didn't do nothing. I had to gather my thoughts and my things and my tears.
Why did they fire you?
It was the end. It was the end of the era. It was the end of we had already been repositioned time-wise in terms of the lineup out of the valuable time slot area. Anything after 12, that's not where the money is in terms of advertisement dollars and everything. So if you play after midnight, you just noise for the station until the money bag time begins back up in the morning. The morning show is the cash cow. And then until about 11 is the cutoff. So after 11 p.m., we was on 8 to 10 primetime closeout money time. When they took the slot away, right, hit it. That's right. Some of your value and power goes away. So we were demoted in a sense. And
how did that affect your DJ gigs outside of work?
It affects, of course, because people don't think that you're as valuable anymore, and because you're no longer on the air to shout them out, shout my gig out, shout my party out, shout it out. So, what?
Who? Let me ask you a question. The morning show up there at the time. You were there for, let's see, you were there for Ed Love and Dr. Dre. You were there for Star and Buck Wild. That's all I know.
When Ebro started dabbling, who else?
So Ebro was the program director.
Correct. And then he started dabbling in the morning show, and then they made him make a choice.
So he was your program director at the time, though?
One of them. Remember, I was there 15 years, so it was several.
Because now P.O. is the program director. I know him.
I don't know him.
Yeah. Ebro, how long he was the program director, he was your program director?
When he came into the stable, a couple of years. And then he had to eventually morph. And so he had to make a decision.
Yeah. You couldn't do both.
Both, yeah.
Understood. Who do you think, in your opinion, was the more popular morning show between Ed Love and Dr. Dre or Star and Buck Wild? Who made the most noise?
I think they both made noise in a different way, but the most controversial he pushed the parameters far. Like you push parameters, not as far.
Yeah,
as
I look up to him. I spoke to him today. I look up to him. I asked everybody that same question though, of who had it more turned up there. You know, who else I asked that? I asked somebody else that.
No, I love him. Like, and he's ironically Sweet T's cousin, relative. Yeah. So it's weird because it's weird, but yes, shouts to what? Oh, you gonna make me call him later and catch up?
Yeah, you should.
He's a good dude. He's very brilliant.
He's very smart. No, I asked that because I just want to know, like, you know, because being in the Hot 97 building, going in there now, and, you know, just being in that legendary building, I see a whole bunch of things, and I was just, like, wondering, like, you know, who had a shaking up there? You know, I know Star and Buck Wild was more controversial, but at the time when I was younger, too, Ed Love and Dr. Dre had it popping, too. They had it moving. They weren't as controversial as Star.
No, they were a more smooth, non-controversial version of that for that position. Who would have been? Nah, neither one of them was the type to push the parameters.
The Star was.
Yeah, well, not. I mean, maybe he was made that way. Good point.
Great point.
Jazzy.
What?
The thing is, moving forward, you were hurt behind getting fired from Hot 97, yes? Because you said
not
tears.
Not hurt. But I mean...
You used the word tears, Jazzy.
Yes, I cried because this is my life, part of my life's career. So it was something that came to the end. But the tears wasn't because... the loss of the job, I guess, is just, the tears was just a culmination of just everything that I experienced at the time of being there. That's it. Like, loss is part of life and living.
I read something that you were in a domestic...
Yeah, my ex-girlfriend broke my nose. One of my girlfriends kind of got at me at the station once.
What?
Yeah. But this is all pre-social media. Like y'all weren't privy to it. I probably would have TMZ. I probably would have been way before. But
What do you mean got at you at the station? What happened?
We was fighting outside
All right.
of the station. She came to check me. I went upstairs all, you know, when you have a fight with Angie was like, "You okay?" I was like, "Yeah." And we turned on the mic and we did the show, and you didn't know because
how long you was in that domestic relationship for? That abusive.
It wasn't. That was the end of it. It was just ending violently, and I was involved for 9 years with that particular person.
Wow.
And then the other one that broke my nose was about 4 years. So I was a long-termer. Like I wasn't. I know there was a perception of me being just too much, but I just look at your eyes. The assumptions from observation of one is what I call nigger math. They make this assumption of what you earn, what you doing, what you got going on in your life, just based on their observation of you, and not really having the full understanding of what it takes to operate anything. Just like when you was asking for assistance to get the new computer so it could run faster and run better and everything, everybody always assumed, well, just from their observation of you, they assume like, why you asking for that? Why you asking? They not understanding everything that it takes. And to survive, his expenses on his own personal thing, but just to run this,
Right.
They don't understand and can't make the correlation of it, but will come at you like the nerve review. It's called nigger math. To me, it's short-term terminology that I just kind of brought up and made up. A nigger math, because they make this assessment and assumptions of you from observation.
That makes sense, yeah. Wow.
How many times you been in the barbershop or whatever? Yo, Flip, I know you got it. They don't even know. It might be a day he only got 5 in his pocket. They don't know. But that nigga math come in, because it's their assumption based off of their observation of you. Hi. What?
She's good, man. She's good.
Crohn's disease.
Did you Google it while you was here?
I have.
Thank you. What?
Let me see. I want to ask this.
Just ask it.
Crohn's disease, you said earlier. Have it affected you from doing certain things? You would disappear for a while, you said, and you'll come back. Like, how hard is it dealing with Crohn's disease? Because I hear, I know.
A lot of people tell you. Okay.
Yeah.
So let me give you an example of some of the.
Please.
I've had 12 inches of my intestines removed twice, 2 sections. So that's like 24 feet. What's the math on that? I don't have my gallbladder. I don't have my appendix. I don't, it's a lot of stuff, every time. And then you have scar tissue every time you go back, and then the recovery after surgery. The going to the bathroom, for example, when I would be DJing, the guys who would carry my crates for me, sometimes I would have a bigger body guy, smaller body guy. It doesn't matter who they were, because they would always kind of have this same look. Like if the disease is, if I'm not in remission of any disease means it's not flaring up. So if I had a flare up, but I still was working, when you're sick and you're going through stuff, if I threw up a lot or if I had to go to the bathroom a lot, sometimes they would be bleeding or whatever, these type of issues that you deal with. So in order to get the electrolytes back up in your body, like it used to, because I read body language from DJing, you read body, y'all read body. So I would see the fear in the eyes of the people that were working with me, because it's like when I'm throwing up, if I would just finish come from rocking a club or whatever, they would protect me, my interest or whatever, you wouldn't know. I would be on the other side of my truck maybe throwing up or whatever because they're close to me. They know what's going on. So then they would be looking sometimes helpless, like, we can't do anything to help you, Jay. It's like, we looking at you, we can't. And I would try to convince them not to worry, like, I got this. Don't worry. So I would go and then drink Pedialyte to get my electrolytes back up so I could and keep going.
But how did it affect you though?
I think the different times where I was on the different medications and stuff, I think those things affected my mood and my reactions and my relatabilities towards people. They don't know what's going on with me, but it affected me, if you will. So if you're asking, it affected my emotional state of being, just everything in a large way. So I did my best with coping with all of the experiences of that. Like, for example, one of the times of my hospitalization, I could remember coming outside and a car was going by and it was playing, "Keep on moving, don't stop." And I was coming out of the hospital. I had all my discharge papers and I was crying. And I could hear the car because music connects me, whatever, right? And I was crying because I had on winter clothes because when I went in the hospital, it was winter. And when I came out, it was spring. And the cars was out. Like, when the weather starts cracking, people start. So I was happy and I was feeling the warmth of the sun and just everything. But my clothes made me realize how long I was hospitalized. And the music woke my soul up, like, in a sense, to receive the sun and everything. I was like, yo, I'm out. Like, So I get asked sometimes about my level of patience. And I was talking about that. I was like, things like that, like being hospitalized for a whole season, 3 months, like there's seasons, 4 seasons. So those things give you patience and understanding. And it's like certain times when you're trying to tell an artist, hold up or whatever, like they don't get it. But I was forced to take the time out. So, and as soon as I was healthy enough, y'all would see me. I would make sure my hair was done. I would make sure everything, because so in keeping my presentation a certain way, it's hard for people to believe my reality because of the presentation, a reverse effect of nigga math in a way. Another flip of it, because they don't believe you.
We need more people
because of what they saw. Mm-hmm. That's kind of how you get when I'm sitting here telling you the other side.
So it affected you, but it also helped you to who you are today,
right?
In a big part, because what you're saying, I could definitely vouch for it. I've seen you either working or not working, and be in spots and with the same demeanor. And I could vouch for you with the artists, like you said. We done showcases together where you either DJ with me or host or you judge. But I've seen you talk to artists and was like, yo, slow down, hold the mic a certain way, do this way. Like you go to the DJ, whether it's me or somebody else, and be like, yo, turn the highs down. Like,
right,
hold on.
Tell the world like how it maybe helped you. Well, you're saying it.
Yeah. Nah, for sure. I mean, she definitely. I was on the car ride here. I was thinking about, I was trying to think about a lot of the advice you gave me over the years, and it's been so much. I can't really pinpoint exactly, verbatim what you said, but I remember certain times, like during a showcase, where, things may not be going right, the order might be messed up, and you'll come take over the whole show. Whether you're booked or not, you know what I'm saying? Like, she might not be booked for the show. She could be coming to support an artist, or she could be judging, or whatever the case is. But she'll come to the booth with me
to help, because I hate to see everything falling apart. If I got the knowledge to help,
when some DJs don't do that, well, most DJs don't do that. People of your stature, you've been in the game for a long time, pioneer. Like,
not take over, but I would come to help.
Take over. When I say take over, I mean like you made sure everything was situated. You came and helped out. When some people will sit there and just watch and maybe clown or take a video or something. Like I've never seen you just sit still. Like I could definitely vouch for. I've been DJing the showcase, and you know I'm stressed out trying to get the order together, get the artists on stage, off stage, the time, and you like, yo, G, hold on, let me see who's next. All right, cool. I'm gonna go talk to the artists and make sure they get the songs ready. You take care of this song for now. I'm gonna go. I'm come right back. And I'm like, yo, she doing all this for me, but you know what I'm saying? We cool, but it's like
it's because I guess it was things that I wish that someone else would have done for me when I was in your position.
Right.
So that's all I did. In knowing what your position was, meaning you standing in it because I would be there.
Been there before.
Then I began to act and behave as a person that I wish
did to you in your time.
So that's all I was doing for 100%.
You. But yeah, plenty of time. I think I remember Showcase we did that. I remember a time we did we played together at the Magic Johnson Theater, I believe. Years ago.
I don't know when
years ago. But we played there together one time, and I think you played something. I'm not sure if you played before me and after me. What a song you played first, and you was like, "Yeah, I played this first because I want to switch up the vibe of the night." I think I was playing hip hop. You might play reggae or something.
Right, to break up the monotony.
Exactly, and you explained to me why you did what you did, why you were DJing. Like some DJs don't do that.
Right, because I'm setting you up so that when you come in, you have an impact. Right. So it doesn't sound like one long mishmash.
Right.
It gives and it allows us not to do a hard reset in terms of for the ear and the experience, like stop. But it's a subtle transition.
Right.
So if I'm leading to reggae or whatever, it gives you the open opportunity musically to then, as I pass the torch to you, to go wherever you want instead of cornering you in musically. Go ahead.
When you it kind of caught me off guard with the emotional point that you displayed. That's why I was over here quiet.
A lot of people just don't know. So
I mean, you know, it's to.
I was smart and selective, or just not. I guess it's the only child thing. Like, who am I talking to? So why would I run around? Like, it's a lot of people that do know who were close or whatever, but you got to look at how long they didn't tell nobody. Were they haters? Were they the first round of haters? Like, good. I'm glad. Like, you understand what I'm saying? Because there's certain people that you may come across and they might be like, oh, so-and-so is sick or whatever. Is it like, look at how the mind starts to look at it. Mm-hmm. So all I know is I did the best that I could in my time, in my journey, and while I was here.
Nah, you did great because everything you saying just now, I didn't know until today. I always see
it was part of the reason why I kind of wanted to write a book so that there would be a better understanding of me. But I'm just like, will they read it? Or will they stay in the nigga map zone? I don't know. What?
No. I'm just saying, like, when you said that you went in the winter and came out in the spring, that took me out. You know
I pictured the whole thing, too.
Yeah, I felt bad for real. So, you know, I tried to keep my composure. I can't imagine going through that, you know what I mean? And you're such a vibrant person. And, you know, I felt it, you know what I'm saying? So that's why it is what it is, though, you know. Can't cry over spilled milk.
Exactly. Right. Thank you. No, listen.
And your voice started cracking and all that type of that stuff.
Because I could see myself coming out of, like,
I was there with you. I saw it. I saw a picture. I was like, wow.
And especially if you ever been to the Bronx and you know Lincoln Hospital, the scoot thing outside, like when you're coming out, I was so happy. I was like, what? Wow. I was happy to be coming out of the hospital, but like I said, the music woke my soul up to make me appreciate the sun. And then when I felt the sun on my skin, I'm coming outside and I'm looking at everybody else and I got on winter clothes. Like I got winter stuff, and that's what made me be like, damn, because that's how severe whatever was going on at the time.
When's last?
I've been in
question.
remission since 08. What?
Wow.
The smile, like, because
Wow.
you know what I'm saying?
Wow.
And that's partly why I'm slim and stuff, because diet choice.
Is there a way to help you with the Crohn disease? Even with a diet choice, are there ways to help you feel better, get better without taking the medicine the doctors gave you, or like?
I don't take medicine. I just stay clear of a lot of stuff. So it's diet choice and stress management. And that's pretty much what all of us need to zero in on. And then you know, because your body tells you things, but people don't listen. Like, if you are lactose intolerant, as an example, and you eat the cheese and you do it, your body's saying, hey, we don't like this. So if you're not listening, it's going to get you sick. So listen, eat better, even in this grind, because y'all are both fathers and just trying to do a lot. Water, naps, all that. Time management, better time management of everything so that...
Not just going crazy.
Right. Because, look, not rushing feels so much better. And you don't want to take a lifetime of figuring that out. Like, that's part of helping you succeed, like, through everything that you deal with. So
that's real.
Time.
Well,
wow. So before we wrap it up, post highlight. Huh?
Anything else? Like, while we here?
No,
I
just want to get to the present now. So post Hot 97, you're still gigging, you're still doing your stuff.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on now with Jazzy Joyce?
As you can see from what I presented to y'all from the top, was just moving towards the art side.
Right.
That's the artsy side. So I got the Need That Rose Gold page on Instagram. Check that out. And the point of me showing everything with Need That Rose Gold from the beginning and everything is to show the development of it. So the art side, still DJing. Got an art show in March. I think it's March 14th is the date. And just still DJing, still doing what I do, and then figuring out reinvention. I'm on the reinvention tour in a sense. But I want to lean towards doing more art and things, and still, because it's not my turn. I'm not supposed to be in the clubs right now. 50, like, I'm supposed to be doing other things, so it's not my turn for what
I hear you.
I look forward to the elevation of just everything about me, because I think situations like this and just remaining creative will open up other opportunities for me. So I feel great and optimistic, and I really can't say to you, oh, I see it being this G Money, but I see myself going into a situation that makes me still feel creatively vibrant and not confined. Because when you're a pioneering energy, it's hard to come into a situation and then not see where they shackle you creatively because of the longevity. And a lot of times, that's partly why I haven't jumped into a lot of things, because I make an assessment, I'm like, nah.
And I'll cut you off, but she did 2 major things in the last 6 months.
Let's talk about it. Yeah, please.
DJ for the governor, for the Pride Parade.
Oh, okay.
Headline DJ for the 35th anniversary of Def Jam.
Yes.
Let's talk about it. What's up, man?
That happened, I want to say, because they featured females. And who else are you going to call When I remember, Def Jam's office used to be the size of this room, kind of like the first. Y'all wasn't there for that. Like, there's people like me who saw that. And who else are you going to call knowing that I was one of the people who was at, you can't, who else was you going to call if the idea of it being female themed? So I was there as the matriarch representative of female DJs. So it was only right. Like, who else was you gonna call? Who else? Who? Tell me. Not now. I can flex a little bit and feel like.
Yeah, talk your talk.
That but overall, that's not. I mean, I definitely always strive to be a dope at what I do, but
What was your biggest to you personally? What was your biggest gig or moment as a DJ?
I want to say when I was DJing with Sweet Tea back in 80-something, the people on the bill at the time it was our first time DJing in front of 10,000 people. I think it was in North Carolina. I can remember, the one thing that I can remember so much is being scared of the needle jumping, because the needle would jump when we're on stage, so we got to stabilize the turntables. So, and I wasn't fearful of being in front of the 10,000 people as much as I was more scared of the needle jumping. So, that stuck in my head.
Who was on the bill that day? You said it was...
Heavy D and the Boys, MC Shan, I'm going off of memory, Sweet Tea and I, of course, Salt and Pepper, Kid and Play, whoever else, probably Luke and them. If I don't have the flyers and stuff, but we're talking, the early stages of it. So I'm trying to think. I would probably have to call Shannon and talk to him and ask him who else was on the bill. But yeah, I can remember that. That's why when years later, getting into stadiums like with Hot 97 and all of that, when we would be doing the concerts or whatever, it didn't really... it was like, I've been
doing that for years.
Right. I used to sell my Hot 97 tickets to the Summer Jam. I used to sell my Summer Jam tickets because I would always ask for me and Coco Chanel to be able to present an artist, do something on the stage, do whatever, and they would always turn it down. I bet she doesn't even know how much I was fighting for us in that sense. And I didn't understand the business and the politics as to why, like, we couldn't. I was like, why can't we go with Angie for at least one act or something? Can we do something? But we were not the premier voices, which when you don't understand the business, I was coming from a nigger math perspective. Fuck is up? I'm here. I'm doing. You see how
Jazzy Joyce, I'm here.
Right. So, yeah.
DJ Just, he just did our show. He was like our first DJs up here. How you feel about him?
Oh, I love Just because
when you first meet Just,
when he was a little boy. So I mostly remember his father because he was the one who was looking after him and making sure and taking him places and giving him and putting him in position for the opportunity to get to DJ. And then he was meeting all of us, the older ones. And just to see him develop and still doing it and come from a young child into who he is now, I'm proud of him. Because it's sort of like what an observation of me would be like from someone else who I got to see him. So peace and shouts out and much love to DJ Just. He was like he's like sort of like your OG out of your region, Queens, in terms of like being the youngest. Well, that was his slogan, youngest in charge or something. Not young. Who used to have the youngest in charge? Somebody used that.
Think Absolute had it, I think.
Probably with his baby face self. Anyway. But you gotta look. If you pay attention to him, you'll save your mouth. You be like, oh, his eyes like, pull the brakes. So yeah, shouts to DJ Absolute. But yeah, DJ Just.
2 more questions before you.
You see how the glasses keeps you.
What What kind of advice would you give DJs nowadays? That's just starting, maybe like a year or two in, 3 years in. You got any advice?
Pay to boost your Instagram page or something like that. Put a boost on it, my nigga. She can rise up out the pool. Promote yourself. And that's the only thing I could say.
Mm-hmm.
And promote yourself. Market and promote yourself. And market and promote yourself. Because the reason why I say that is because if they did a better case study of the craft, they wouldn't all sound the way that they do. So I'm not going to tell them to double back because they skipped, the part of punching the hardwood, like from the grandmaster, the karate guy or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
No, the young Jedi don't want to do that. He don't understand that. Why I got to do that? Why I got to do that? Why I got to do that? Because it builds you. It builds you. So they just took the technology. These DJs are technology grown, but they're not grown from without the machine to understand. They play records, but they don't know why they play them. That's where you get the why from. Outside of the machine, So my advice to them is just promote yourself. If you're playing all the hot stuff, the right stuff, go ahead, promote yourself. Because they're not coming from a collective of people who really loved the culture.
That sounds familiar. Yeah, she told me about that.
Yeah, no, he probably, because his love for it.
People playing the right stuff was hot. Instead of, he broke it down.
Mm-hmm.
And last question, your top 5 DJs in no particular order. Your top 5 DJs, not including yourself either.
I know. I couldn't put myself in there, and I'm not like that anymore.
Who's your top 5 that you feel, whether it's radio DJ, mixtape DJ?
No. You got it. No, I'm
I'm
going through a lot of information.
I know it's tough.
Yeah,
You've been around for a long time. You've seen some of the greats, man.
It's. The amazing thing before I answer that question is my ability to separate my personal feelings from how I've done that all my life. There's some people that I would love to just get into a boxing ring, karate ring, whatever. We could do a knife fight. We could jump off tables with flip. What we doing? No. That wasn't the purpose of that. But right. I'm top 5 in terms of skill set, DJ. No, that's not.
It's tough. I know.
Yeah, it's not. Can I just say?
In no kind of order though. You can say there's no number 1 or there's any kind of order. I want to see who you Who's
no. Let's put.
It's tough for me too. I ain't gonna lie. People ask me this all the time.
Right, cause no.
I have like a
Listen. Let me say this, and I don't know if I'm gonna give a list, cause some of them deserve to be on the list, but then they changed up. You understand? I don't like lists.
I get you.
I don't like top 5s. I respect.
So who's some people you respect? DJ?
Right.
All right. Who's people you respect as a DJ?
DJ Enough.
I like Enough.
Yeah.
Facts. Speak Spanish.
Right. Scratch.
Yeah, so you gotta say Scratch.
No, you don't gotta. It's a personal preference.
Scratch is fire.
No, I know, but he's amazing. I gotta, of course. But I'm just saying. But I don't gotta say him. It's you asked me for my list.
It's true.
But yes, he's on my list.
Enough. Scratch.
Yes. Ooh.
It's tough.
Yeah, nah. Cause it's in making the decision. There's so much. I'm trying to run down the checklist of a lot of. Cause they gotta be well rounded, and look at the DJs I'm mentioning. Well rounded. They all can cut, mix, rock a party, rock radio. Or scratch. So you see where my brain is going. Kid Capri, of course. So that's 3. He's one of my mentors.
It's a strong list.
Yes.
When you say mentor, what do you mean by mentor? How is he?
He's without him, I wouldn't have cracked the mic. He forced me to implement my personality
Directly or indirectly?
directly. He was one of my. He's from the Bronx. I'm from the Bronx. I was under his management team, and part of his earlier works is just we parted ways, and I kept moving, and he kept moving. We see each other, love
Right.
it is, but it was time for me to just do what I had
Stage
to do.
left.
Yeah. So he's once where we at?
That's
Three?
Yeah.
Okay, 2 more slots.
Enough, scratch, Kid Capri.
Right. I wish there was a female I could give the placement to, but it's really not.
Really?
Really? Why? 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 Tell me why. Because some of them got certain components, but they don't got the other components.
Got
like
you.
everybody else I mentioned thus far got a and they or are still making more checky checks. So think about it.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Listen, I'm waiting for her. Yeah, she's trying to be.
I ain't trying to be nothing. I'm just saying what it is.
You up to number 3.
Right. I don't have any more. That's my top 3.
Really? Hold up.
Wait. You're going to try to pull a go ahead.
What DJs you have issues with then?
I don't have issues with anyone.
What DJs did you have or had past tense? What DJs have you had issues with? Just because you made me tear up, that doesn't mean I ain't gonna put the pressure.
No. I know. I want to say a large percentage of them based on how
Based
they
off
treat,
what?
how they reacted or interacted with me. Or
But you
treated
just said that sometimes you were. Do you feel that you were antisocial? Well, you didn't say that, but do you feel you antisocial?
As a result of being an only child, I think that my personality wasn't able to.
So they act like that. Why did they act like that to you?
Because it was socially awkward to communicate with me. Meaning, like, what the hell is wrong with Joy? Like, nobody did, I don't know. So between the energy, it's like, how many people were friends with the top of anything? Is it easy for them to make friends?
What I'm asking you is that why?
Why? I don't know why they were mad at me. Or
I
felt
don't think they
that
were
way.
mad at you, but something's up. Something ain't right. Were you mean?
Absolutely. As a result of the things that, the pressures of fame, the things that I told you were going on the other side that everyone else didn't realize that was affecting the kid. And then when you get, like, for example, the energies that you get outside of, when you go outside of this building, right? And people come at you wanting something from you because you're flipped the script and y'all got this, yo, son, when can I do an interview? So multiply that times 1 billion trillion times without the internet coming at you direct, person to person, not phone as the filter. Only crate carrying. Instead of, dudes would come up to me and do stuff like see me offloading my crates, 6 crates of records, trying to get into the station and pull up on me and flex on me like, yeah, you know, what's up, Jazzy Joyce? Oh, you getting ready to go to the station? This is a stranger interrupting me. He's a young man. Not saying he didn't hop out the car and be like, Jazzy Joyce, can I help you? Because of the whole who I love thing, she got that. So the stunt and I was subjected to a lot.
Do you think people mistreated you because of your sexual preference?
It could be a combination of everything. The things that you're trying to allude to, like me being a little spicy with people, that as well. I wasn't necessarily putting that in.
What the hell?
Whoop, whoop.
What in the world?
Whoop, whoop.
Yeah,
I wasn't. Listen, Flip. Listen to me. I wasn't necessarily flaunting my love or whatever, but it was. I never was hiding anything. And I didn't hide that part of me in a, I just...
Something ain't right, Jazzy. I'm sorry. Something don't make sense to me. I'm sorry.
Well, what part doesn't? And I'll help you.
I mean, the thing is that, you're saying, what about how you treated people,
As a result of what I'm telling you.
So you own that you may have not been the nicest person to
Yeah, I've
people.
always said that. Like, I get on the look back. Yeah.
Non-approachable.
Yes. I was sitting there. I don't want to pull my shirt up, but I've been cut from here to here 8 times. So there's been times where I've been at a place and y'all didn't know I was in pain or whatever. Somebody's coming up, sweating, asking, or getting at me. The only weapon I got, not a knife, not a gun, not the big security guard, not a brother, not a sister, not a cousin, is my mouth.
Facts.
So I'm sorry.
Facts.
But now that you know the other side, that's why I said, what about the people that knew? Instead of when they talking about me and saying whatever, what about the person who knows why I'm spicy and didn't defend me? To the person that I didn't mean to verbally victimized. And then one of my managements throughout my career, one time, she was like, now everybody's coming around saying, you're doing this, what are you? And I've logged in enough time around you and noticed, like, you don't really bother anybody. Most of the stories and things and all of this stuff has been coming from people who come to want something from you.
She's speaking real shit.
That's real.
You speaking real shit.
I'm happy to see you too. No, that's why.
What DJs or what people at the station that didn't shun you? Who can you say, yo? No
Enough. Show love. Like I wanted to be. I wanted to be.
He's official.
I wanted to be down with his, because one time I asked him, I was like, why you ain't put me down with you? Because I'm not Puerto Rican? What the fuck? You know what I'm saying? But
heavy hitters.
Right. I wanted to be the first, and then but yeah, like, there's certain people that they love me, but they love me probably in silence.
Or love you from a distance.
In silence.
From a distance.
Right? They gotta keep... Right? Because if they're in a room full of people saying... He's like, well, I don't want to be the one to put up the vote. Like, wait, hold on. She's not that bad. Or she.
A lot of people probably didn't know that what you were going through. So they, and that's the problem with our people. We jump out the window instead of wanting to divulge or get into...
Or just ask them up.
Or just ask them up.
Nigga math, right?
I mean, look, that's one of the shirts I'm gonna paint. I wanted to wear one of my nigga math shirts, but people didn't really understand it. So now I could do it from this point on. If you see me with and it's gonna be covert. The N-word ain't gonna be right at you, but it's art. So, but when you decode it and realizes it says nigga math, you'll be like, oh, Jazzy, I get it, because I saw Flip the script with Queen's Flip and DJ G Money, and I saw the explanation, so I know what that nigga math is about.
Do you think that maybe if people would have understood you, or people didn't think you were so mean, opportunities would have been...
Absolutely.
That's it. I leave it on that.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's all I wanted you to do is acknowledge.
Yeah, no, but...
Acknowledgement.
Yeah, and it's okay, because you know what?
Sorry.
I'm still here, and it ain't too late.
Facts.
And I'm still popping.
You are.
Talk about it.
So, it's okay. Maybe I wasn't supposed to... Maybe it was supposed to be like, it's life. I had to go through certain things so that when the next phase of things happens, it's just
I'm prepared for it.
Yeah, and I'm floating through just more prepared, more educated life wise, just everything wise. I didn't go to college. I was a DJ. I have Crohn's disease. I was a DJ, and I wish, as intelligent as I am, if I wasn't sick, the flip flop would have been me putting the other energy into something else, and I would have been like, you see how people are doctors and this and this and this, and I was talking about this recently with my mom, and she was like, yeah, Joyce, a lot of people probably are envious or jealous of you because they think all you did was do the DJ thing and they don't know the other side of what was going on. And I said, yeah, Mom, because social media didn't exist back then. And, trying to get the mature people in your life to understand how technology and my mom is very intelligent, but we were just talking about that and how they just think, because a lot of people, in order to do what they had to do, they had to have a regular job, and then they was DJing as well. So it's like, to know that long hours hustle, and I had to go through a lot of stuff too. But they think I only just made it as this and didn't know is that every time when I stood up, y'all, I was like, oh, I'm okay. Okay, it's another chance.
That's real. Yeah, like I said earlier, I had no idea, man.
A lot of people.
I've known you for a lot of years now. I never seen you.
I never was complaining on it.
Yeah, I never seen you not even.
That's why my reality was always, and I always keep myself neat. Mm-hmm. Because my aunt gave that to me. She made me fashionably fly, and that made it hard for people to realize my reality, because I was able to keep myself neat at all times, because she instilled that into me. So if nothing else, that's what people couldn't. I would say, yeah, I just went through this or that. They'll be looking at me like, what?
True.
I'm shocked now. I no idea, man.
There's people who had an idea.
Well, they
didn't come in my defense.
Tell me.
So it's fine. It works out just fine. It works out. It is what it is. You're
still here now. You're still popping. Still relevant. Still jazzy. You know
Let's
what I'm saying?
get it. Listen, the painting that I drew for you guys was like this is my early attempts at doing portrait work, because I didn't want to. I'm not as confident at it as I'd like to be. So y'all have one of the first expressions of that. So, like I said, dump it in a nice frame for me, please.
Got you.
And keep it.
It looks great.
Thank you.
That's great.
I was like when I was doing it, because I was looking at it and I was like, I hope they. I don't look at.
No, we love it. I think it's dope. It'll definitely be somewhere. And I don't know if we're gonna put it in the studio. I might take it home with me. I don't know how we.
No, and I thought about that too. I was like, I hope they don't argue over this. I couldn't make two. You know what I'm saying? So dope. Yeah, and then Yep. You took the glasses off, G Money?
Yeah, I wanted to,
to get back here.
Yeah,
I want to say to you, to watch you as come from a young man to have your first child and everything, and still keep DJing and blah blah blah. Like, my observance of you, I've always had respect for you, because it's respect. It's reflected in the way that I revered you and treated you. So even if I never told you how I felt about you, if you had to reflect in how we related, you would know.
Of course.
Especially since we all know I can be nasty.
Well, I haven't seen that side, so
no, but but here we are. You see it.
Mm-hmm. I'm listening.
Right. So I want to say to you, continue. I know it's not easy. I see, because we can read. Mm-hmm. So in observance of you, I could see sometimes when it's hard. And I might say a prayer like, gee, you got this. Because I know it was hard. It was a time where it's like, how do I balance this baby thing and everything else and still DJ and everything? So high five, kudos to you, an observance of you.
Thank you.
My nigga math of you says, keep up the great work.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate that, for real.
Yes.
On that note,
yes. Flip, I don't know. I don't have that. But today, and I feel like we know each other forever and ever.
A lot of people feel that way.
Right. But I'm expressing it in words to you.
Giving me my flowers, right?
Yes. And in feeling like I've known you forever. I don't got this is our first. So from here on out, when I see you, feel me, give me my hug.
I will.
I'm gonna check on you and be like, how's everything? And thank you, most importantly, for feeling like you wanted to talk to me. Cause I know you, it's a lot. You the yes or part of the yes or no, like whatever. So thank you. I'm glad I surprised you watching you guys' reaction and everything. Thank you.
I think with me, real quick though, is more of how strong you are, man. I mean, we all judge a book by its cover. So that seeing what you go through, the pain you go through, what you had to deal with because of your the sickness or disease, it's very unfortunate, but you still smiling and you still strong. So it just it is what it is. Like we got another show, but you're strong and I salute you, man. You got my respect, you got my support.
Thank you.
Real talk, man. I appreciate you coming up here.
Thank you.
I don't have to really be hype. I'm not in the hype mood. It's just,
One of the things I'd like to do for the future is formulate a foundation for the Crohn. Because it was so much. In explanation or explaining what it's like to kind of be me. So Joyce Spencer is my name. Jazzy Joyce is like the franchise energy. So it's like I gotta take the orders, make the burgers, ring it up, do the books, clean it, you know what I'm saying? All in between everything else, sort of like the understanding of how the juggle. Mm-hmm. So the future has in store my ability. I'm seeing the future giving me the opportunity to give a foundation for the Cronhs and all of that, It's not like I haven't wanted to do that. That's a sense of serving. And that side, like the people who suffer from Crohn's and everything, I have a wealth of knowledge for them. Because y'all not going through that, so you didn't have any questions for that.
Right.
But when I find out or people find out I have it, I'm more than willing to be helpful because we're all individuals. So the disease is gonna react differently, but it has its core symptoms and things that's gonna happen to you. So if I can help a person cope, and what I find, Flip, that when someone is sick, I don't be wanting to hear no excuses because it's like when I let them know the other side that they didn't know of me, I'll be like, yo, look at me, nigga. So what are you telling me?
Facts.
You can't tell me nothing.
Facts.
I met somebody because, it's part of the people come up and begging and not begging, but pressing you for stuff. So somebody came up to me one time and was like, oh, I had this and I did, and what's up, Jazzy? And I was like, yo, you see me be Jazzy Joyce, but you didn't know that I was dealing with this. And they looked and they was like, oh, damn. Wow. Because they know what I did as Jazzy Joyce, meaning what I presented to the world. So I'm saying to them, doubling back to them, like, yo, what's your excuse? Why are you thinking that you could come to me or come at me like that? Because my brother or my sister, hello. And I didn't have no excuses, so.
What's up?
Right. Part of the nasty, get out of here with that. They don't tell you most stories about me start from the point when I strike. But if I'm an only child and I can just be by myself naturally, I'm not bothering you.
It's true also.
I'm looking at these pictures of you and stuff, and
Throwback pics, right?
yeah. But
Right, and look, you could see the fluctuation and the difference of how my face used to look. And so because it's just like the prednisone, the steroids that they give to help. That's why the face that's why you see people who suffer from asthma, sometimes their face is fatter from the it's the similar thing. So when you look at different pictures and my face may look different or whatever, it's a result of some of the things that was going on within my body or
At that time. Right.
So now me saying it out loud and you can look back at it.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen it change. I wanted to ask before, but I wasn't, that's not
Yeah,
enough
everybody
for me to
was scared to ask. And even when I saw a lot of some of my peers, I would see the look in their eyes, like they would look like, ugh, or what's wrong, instead of coming to ask me. So now I get to just say it all in one time. Y'all got the answer.
There we go.
Right. And I can see some of them, I'll be like, oh, you done lost because you thinking I'm a crackhead or something because I'm skinny or whatever. But instead of asking me what's up or whatever.
Yeah.
So that's the assumptions. Like, nigga man. Cha-ching. Can we get a money? I like that hat, by the way, the guys who the gentleman.
Thank you. Just shout out to BKV NYC on that hat, you know what I'm saying?
Nah, who did your hat? Flip, it's like, what is it? Love, heart?
What is it my man Bino hat called? Blood of Gold, Gold-Blooded. Yeah. Yeah, it's I'm like an ambassador for the brand.
Nice.
So I always wear it.
Gold-blooded.
Sweet tea. Yeah.
Bino from Riot Squad, Bino. Stack bundles.
Oh, stack bundles.
Bino, stack bundles, chinks, yeah.
Oh, yes. Yo, let me tell y'all. Because it's not too many of, like, anybody that I didn't meet. Like, I met Biggie. I knew Tupac. I knew Left Eye. Like, so it's like, how many times does my heart have to keep hurting after I talk to these people? You understand what I'm saying? And no, serious, like, right before it happened, I had met him, and him and I had a really nice conversation, and it hurt. So bad, when you get to, you be like, ah.
Yeah, that's
so, yeah. So peace and shouts to them and the line. So can I get what, they do hoodies or something?
Who Bino? Yeah.
So let me do a hoodie, and then I could paint on it on top with the love and the gold, or add some, because you see me. I see the gold.
I see it.
So I'm just saying, I see it. It's up to you, because a lot of times, because I do my own thing, I don't really take from other brands or whatever, but I'm asking if you want, holla.
Facts.
Toss me.
It shouldn't be an issue.
All right. So, yes, shouts out to them. But yeah, people don't think about, like, how does that affect me every time when I meet, somebody in the culture trying to come, and you see them coming up and you see them come through, and then because it affects you.
How you feel about Juice WRLD?
I didn't know. I'm at that stage in my listening career where it's just, I was out of touch with that. I know I'm aware of the music because of the DJ component in me, but artist-wise, I wasn't invested, and I'm mature. He wasn't for my age group.
Got you.
It's a sad situation, though.
Very sad. But we gotta wrap it up. We gotta have another show, and we're gonna be sitting here going back and forth all day, cause you have a lot of energy.
You wear people down?
Nah, I don't wear people down. I'm just saying, just want my man to get up. All of his. I think he did a good job today.
Thank you.
G Money and you. Hey, I said think he did. What you saying? Thank you.
No, I thought.
Man.
I'm sorry. Well, he did, and I thank you because you're here.
I asked no questions for you, Coach.
Say it again.
I said I asked no questions for you today on the show.
Listen, Flip, I appreciate you. Man. G Money got to talk a lot because listen, he's a DJ, so that was what the important thing was for me. And I know how you be wearing like you. Be
Nah, but it's not.
what you do, Flip.
Nah, for the record, it's not him that tells me not to talk on episodes.
He told me that you just don't feel comfortable speaking like that all the time.
Nah, some guests I have more questions for than others. You know what I'm saying?
And you may be less knowledgeable about the
So
the subject.
that's really what it is, though. Like the viewers may see it one way and may be like, "Oh, Flip's trying to overtalk G," you know. But nah, it's like you said. Sometimes he might know more knowledge, or he may know some insight that I don't know. Or we have notes, but sometimes he may know that a better way to ask it. So I let him, drive the ship. You know what I'm saying? And I jump in when I feel I need to jump in. You know what I mean?
Can I tell y'all a secret? I've always had no problem in being an awesome Indian, but they would shoot at me as if I was the chief, if you will.
Wow, you got a lot of lines. A lot of. Yeah, she got a lot of. She got a lot of one-liners.
No, they be based off the truth, though.
Oh, yeah.
I just started trading stock and stuff and doing other apps and stuff, so I've never had that much action on my phone because so what the heck? But I suggest young people, if you know the Fortnite maps, if you know Fortnite maps, know where to find all the treasures, and you don't know your hood like that, then there's a problem. In a sense, know your hood the same way you know those maps in game. Like, I'm trying to get them to make the correlation.
That was good.
But
That was good.
Relatability, and then so from that, it opens up your mind and gets you to understand how to think and move as a young person. If you can know a Fortnite map, know the map of your neighborhood. Know what's going on. Pay attention. What else is a gem for the young people? The young people in the, I hear you, that's you. Yeah! Did you hear it? Did you hear it? Did you?
That's me.
I know, that's what I said, but I know where, because we fit.
That was a record scratching. That was a record scratching. That was it.
But I could.
On that note, we got to sign out, Jazz. You got tell them social media. Let them know
where
they can find you at and everything like that.
Follow me at DJ Jazzy Joyce on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. All the same. Need That Rose Gold, Instagram. That's it.
That's it.
Correct.
Yes.
The most important.
No, it's not. It's important. Look, book JazzyJoyce at gmail.com is important right now, but if management changes, it won't be as important. But I love you, Coach.
Oh.
See, they ducked it. No, but I'm just saying. Nobody's saying that. That was the point. I just
we out of here, man. At DJ G Money 156 at Queens Flip with a Z at Flip the Script Pod. You know what it is, man. Shout out to Jazzy Joyce one time, man. A legend in the game, pioneer of the game. Salute to you. Always pay homage. Always showing love to the youth too, and giving gems. You know what I'm saying? So
yes,
we all appreciate you.
Thank you. Shouts to Real Time Entertainment family. Shouts to Coach in the background.
Yes,
Coach Michelle's here.
Shouts
Flip, thank you. Shouts to everybody watching this and anyone who checks me out after watching this and has a different perspective or thought of me. I appreciate you watching all the way through, and thank you again for having me. Frame that picture. Peace and love continue. Blessings and success, and thank you.
Appreciate it.
Yo, this Queens Flip, man. Dope episode. Learned a lot.
Yes.
Sometimes you gotta use your two ears for something. Sometimes we listen to respond instead of listening to understand. And on that note, remember, lock your doors, close your windows, close your blinds, open your blinds. And if you see Jazzy Joyce on your lawn, run. Don't be afraid to use the firearm. I'm from Queens.
You want niggas buzzing at me?